Today we're going to look at this problem here where we have to write an expression in simplest radical form. So here I have this expression, 6 on the root of 9x squared y to the 7th. So notice how I said on the root of. You could also say it like 6 square roots of 9x squared y to the 7th. So there's a couple things that we have to do here. The first thing is we need to simplify everything that is under the radical. So I'm going to start with the number. So over here off to the side, I'm going to start by writing the number 9. And we need to break down 9 into its prime factors. So I know that 9, I could write it as 1 times 9, but that doesn't really help me. So I'm going to write it as 3 times 3. And when I write it as 3 times 3, you can see that that's a pair of 3's, or you can think of that as 9 being a perfect square. If I take the square root of 9, then I get 3. So I'm going to rewrite my radical here as 6 square roots of 3 times 3. And now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write x squared as x times x, and I'm going to write y to the 7th as y times y times y times y. So that's 4 y's. I need to do 3 more. Times y times y times y. So now you'll see that I've got one long big square root symbol here. And now what I'm going to look for is pairs. And the reason for this is because whenever I have pairs of these numbers, like I have a pair of 3's, if I multiply those, then I get a perfect square. So I get 9. And I'm taking the square root, so if I look for pairs, then I can just think of taking that number itself. So I see that I have a pair of 3's here, so I'm going to pull out some 3's. So that'll be 6 times the 3 that I pull out, left on the root of x times x times y times y times y times y times y times y times y. I know I'm kind of getting a little sloppy there with that, but all right, here we go. So now I also have a pair of x's here. So I'm going to pull one x out, and I have 1, 2, 3 pairs of y's that I need to pull out, and I'm going to pull out 1 y for every pair. So let's rewrite this out here. 6 times 3 is 18, and I have an x that I pull out, and then I have 1, 2, 3 y's that I pull out. So that's 1, 2, 3 y's that I pull out for every pair, and I pulled my x's out as well. On the square root of, now notice what is left. I have 1 y left over. So this y is going to stay on the inside. Okay, so now my final answer is I need to go ahead and multiply everything on the outside. So I already did my 6 times 3. So I'm going to rewrite this as 18x y to the 3rd, because I have 3 y's being multiplied by each other on the outside, on the square root of y. And this is my final answer. So if that helped you, go ahead and give this video a like or share it with somebody you think it would help. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.